Hi, my name is Hannah Angeline, and today I'm choosing to read Jungle Drums by Graham Base. This is an African folk tale, and the way I would use it in a social studies unit would be to read a series of different books from different cultures and have the children chart them on a globe. That way they get an idea of where we live and where other stories around the world come from. Jungle Drums. This is Ngiri Madogo. Small, isn't he? He's the smallest warthog in Africa. There are bigger warthogs. They tease Ngiri about being so small, but that's only because they're jealous of the other animals who live across the river, with their stunning spots and striking stripes, impressive horns and curly trunks, graceful necks and gorgeous plumage. Here are the other animals who live across the river. Aren't they gorgeous? Every year, the other animals hold a grand parade with prizes for the most beautiful. The warthogs don't even bother entering. Mud wrestling isn't in the program. Tired of being teased, Ngiri heads across the river to play with the other animals. They are arguing amongst themselves about who is the most beautiful. They turn and stare at Ngiri. No spots, laughs Chew, the leopard. No stripes, whinnies Pudmamilla, the zebra. Look at those silly horns, snorts Kifuru, the rhino. He hasn't even got a trunk, trumpets Tembo, the elephant. Or a neck, scoffs Twiga, the giraffe. Isn't he just the ugliest thing you've ever seen? Crows Nadago, the crescent crane. And so small, too. They all laughed. Ngiri heads for home. He is not happy. On the way, he meets old Nyambu, the wildebeest, the oldest and wisest animal in the jungle. I hate being so small, he tells her. Everyone teases me. Old Nyambu gets out a little set of bongos. These are magic drums, she says. If you play them, they will give you whatever you wish for. Do you want them? Oh, yes, cries Ngiri. I do. He takes the drums in eager hooves. Old Nyambu has a twinkle in her eye. Just remember, she says, wishes can come true, but not always as you expect. And she gently fades into the bushes. I'm going to pause for a second because I want to point out one thing about this book. It has amazing artwork in it, which is something I really love to share in my classroom and with my own children at home. And when we get to the end, there is a section that quizzes you on how to find this wildebeest in the rest of the pages in the book. She's hidden in every one of them. So it's really neat to leave in your center and have the children hunt for her in the artwork. The sound of jungle drums throbs through the night. But in the morning, despite all the wishing, little Ngiri is still exactly the same. Then he hears the commotion in the jungle. The other animals have woken to find their stunning spots and striking stripes, impressive horns and curly trunks, graceful necks and gorgeous plumage have all disappeared, and they are very upset about it. The warthogs, meanwhile, have woken up with stunning spots and striking stripes, impressive horns and curly trunks, graceful necks and gorgeous plumage. They think they look just fabulous. Here's Ngiri, Madogo. They laugh as he trots up, small as ever and oh so plain. But we are just like the other animals now. We're going to enter the grand parade and teach them a lesson in the jungle. When the other animals learn on the jungle grapevine that the warthogs are going to enter the grand parade, they are horrified. Look at us, they cry in dismay. Those awful warthogs will win every prize. It will be a complete disaster. They try making fake markings out of sticks and grass and colored mud, but it all washes off in the evening downpour. The warthogs parade along the riverbank in the newfound finery. You stole our markings, yelled the other animals. Give them back. They're not your markings, they're ours, snorted the warthogs. They fell from the sky, and now we are the most beautiful animals in the jungle. They belong to us, growled the other animals. If you don't give them back before the grand parade, we will come and take them. Poor Nagiri. What has he done? The wild African moon comes up, and jungle drums beat out across the savannah. I always have my own children at this point, because he repeats, this page repeats. I have them actually clap on their legs to make the drum sounds. It's really fun. They love interacting with this section of the book. It's still dark as Nagiri creeps over to where the other animals are sleeping. He breathes a sigh of relief to see the stunning spots and striking stripes, impressive horns and curly trunks, graceful necks and gorgeous plumage. Then the other animals stir and sit up. The markings are on the wrong animals. It's the warthogs who've done this, cried the other animals. They've put a spell on us. They stomp off angrily across the river. Meanwhile, the warthogs are in a terrible state. What's happened to my nose? What's happened to my neck? How can I roll in the mud with all these feathers? I can't run with this great long trunk. I'll end up someone's dinner for sure. The warthogs have become even more like the other animals they admire so much. They've put a spell on us. They stomp off angrily across the river. What have you done to us? Demanded the warthogs. What have you done to us? Demanded the other animals. Everybody is shouting at once. Stop it, cries Nagiri Madogo in a squeaky voice. It was me. All the animals stopped and looked at him in amazement. He tells them about the magic drums. I made a wish. 2 wishes, in fact, though they went wrong. I want you all to stop teasing me, but I didn't mean for you to start fighting. Why can't you all be happy the way you are? Because we look ridiculous, says everybody together. We want to be the way we were. Well, says Nagiri thoughtfully, if you'd be happier that way, I suppose I could try to make one more wish. For a third time, the sound of the jungle drum echoes through the still night air. As the sun rises over the rim of the world, the warthogs and other animals wake up and look around with relief. They are all back to normal. But Nagiri Madogo sighs. After all that trouble, he's still exactly the same, the smallest warthog in Africa. Something has changed, though. No one is teasing him anymore. The bigger warthogs and the other animals look at Nagiri, then at each other. Then they shrug. So what if he's the littlest? Someone has to be. That evening, the grand parade goes ahead as usual. The other animals who live across the river show off their stunning spots and striking stripes, impressive horns and curly trunks, graceful necks and gorgeous plumage. The warthogs clap and cheer. Then the warthogs put on a mud wrestling display, including a very clever mud pyramid with a mud fountain, and other animals clapped and cheered. Then Nagiri does a drum solo, but he's very careful not to wish for anything, just in case. And everyone claps and cheers. And the night is a roaring success. The end. At the end of this book is all of the Swahili pronunciation for all the animals, so you can get the language correct. I love this part because it connects the children more to another culture's language. It also gives you a little bit of syllable pronunciation in English so that it's easier to translate them correctly. So this is really fun to connect the kids with, the Swahili language. And I like to mark this on the globe as well. So all through the book, you're learning not only these fun little characters, but you're learning their cultural names for them as well. So thank you very much for listening.